The 4-year period between 2011 and 2014 were golden years for the world. It was no accident that this coincided perfectly with the presence of Aura. After all, the world was an online game managed by the ultimate AI. Even in CC Corp, this was known only to a limited number of people. From the moment it began, no one fully understood Aura, the omnipresent AI system that controlled the world. The average player would have no way at all to even learn of her existence. Aura had inherited the intelligence of a genius, Harold Hewick, and the beauty of a poet, Emma Wieland. She was the ultimate administrator of the world, and a gifted debugger. And yes, she could behave like a temperamental creator. As the lone deity in the world, Aura would sometimes act impulsively like a fickle goddess. For example, it was Aura's idea, not CC Corporation, to create a replica of the Kite character and use it in a promotional giveaway campaign. She even put the hero of the bracelet in a demo version and returned him to gameplay. As to when Aura disappeared, that can only be determined by examining conditions in the world. Our best estimate is in late 2014. It was 7 years after the day of Pluto's kiss that abnormalities first began to be clearly detected in the world. Time lags and frequent crash servers started to seriously interfere with the game. These problems didn't just cause trouble for the world, they affected the entire network. Load processing increased, and real-world trouble quickly magnified. The Network Market Research Organization, NAB, along with other institutions, investigated the cause. But although they suspected it was due to a new type of virus, one similar to the kind that had caused the original network crisis, they were unable to find evidence of sabotage. That was no surprise. The real reason was simply that Aura had vanished. This alone caused the network to revert to its original specs. It took until early 2015 before executives at CC Corp would come to that realization. And that's how it began. The network, albeit quietly, began to fall into decay, and the world faced its own dark age. As it became less and less reliable, the world soon lost its popular appeal. Aura, the guardian ubiquitous. Only a handful of people understood the relationship between the loss of Aura and the network chaos. The top executives at CC Corp were forced to make a decision. Their plan was to resurrect Aura and bring her back to the network again. But the father of Aura, Harold Hewick, was dead. Therefore, the RA plan, the plan for bringing her back, required a different organization. This was how Project GU was established. The loss of the ultimate AI, Aura, was the second major network crisis. In other words, the birth of Aura paved the way for the world's second paradigm shift. The world's golden age lasted from 2011 until 2014. When Aura's disappearance was confirmed, the world's age had truly become a dark age. A variety of problems, such as faulty servers, began to spread everywhere, not just the world, but over the entire internet. However, once CC executives learned that the cause of these problems was due to the loss of Aura, they began to formulate a plan to counteract against the silent danger. They would forcibly restore Aura back to her original state. They intended to seize control of the next network society by creating and managing this ultimate AI themselves. It was a return to the plan both CC Corp and Ultimate Corp had hatched during the first network crisis. That was back in 2005, when they were still using the Ultimate operating system. Ultimate had managed the network's hegemony. This is how Project GU officially began. It was all thanks to CC Corp's sponsorship. The budget was limitless. A special team was put together. First-class engineers, AI programmers, and other technical experts. I myself was also a major part of this project. I was brought on to represent CC Corporation and ensure their goals were met. The project's overall objective was to restore Aura, and thus GU's RA plan began. The RA plan. We were to salvage the 8 broken pieces of the Morgana Factor, which had sunk into a sea of data after being destroyed by Kite's bracelet during the 2010 Morgana incident. It was thought that by sealing each piece of Morgana Factor separately into character data, players could then take control of them, one at a time. There were precedents for this kind of strategy. The mind of a player known as Sora had attached itself to Skaith. And there was Maha, whose mind was thought to have adhered itself to the wandering cat-like AI, Mia. Of the people involved in Project GU, there was one man on the team who was absolutely invaluable. Jotaro Amagi, an elite mind who came to CC Corp at age 19 after working intelligence for the Ministry of Economy. For his age, he was truly a genius. Although Mr. Amagi and I were far from what you would consider friends, our complementary knowledge and combined abilities helped greatly to advance the project forward. We were the 2 essential wheels that kept GU rolling. Our age difference didn't matter, yet we would frequently clash in fevered arguments. For some reason, a strange mixture of feelings, respect, envy, and scorn, had begun to grow in my heart. Even so, Amagi and myself scoured the network, finally managing to find a single piece of the Morgana Factor. It was Magus, the factor for propagation. After a great deal of trial and error, the team finally succeeded in attaching the Morgana Factor to a character in the world. This completed prototype became known as an Epitaph user, so named for Morgana's 8 phases of the Epitaph. The one we completed first was called the Epitaph User of Propagation. However, no one involved in the project, not even myself or Amagi, could use one of these characters. When someone would try to log into the world with one of these characters, an unbearable vertigo, nausea, and headache would paralyze him. The Morgana Factor, just as it had in the cases of Skaith and Sora, showed a high affinity for human minds. But perhaps that was only towards the chosen ones. Amagi had a theory that the Morgana Factor could choose the player it would attach to, and though conditions were unclear, the Morgana Factor would approve only a certain type of human. If that were indeed the case, locating those 8 chosen ones became an important issue for Project GU. At the advice of Amagi, a search team was created within the Security Admin Department. They would filter players in the world to find the chosen ones. Unfortunately, we learned that Sora's real-life player had already canceled his account with the world.
Oh, Mia! I'm so happy that you came back!
Hi, Elk. That's a unique bracelet. Can I take a look?
Mia! Your memories, they're...
Amagi and I continued our search for the other 7 pieces of the Morgana factor.
Yes.
Skaith, Innis,
Do you mean
Fidhel,
you can't see this nice
Gore,
bracelet?
Maha, Tarvos, and Korbenik. Eventually, we discovered that the Maha piece had once again attached itself to the cat character Mia. We were able to extract it by destroying the cat character. We continued to produce epitaph users one at a time, and eventually we had completed all 8 of them. All we had to do next was allow the Chosen Ones to control these epitaph users, then have them use the power of Morgana's 8 phases to activate the program Amagi had created. This RA program would restore Aura, gateway to Utopia. We at Project GU had come so close. We had almost arrived at our Utopia. Jotaro Amagi and I continued looking for the Morgana factor as part of CC Corp's Project GU. After collecting each epitaph for Skaith, Innis, Magus, Fidhel, Gore, Maha, Tarvos, and Korbenik, we managed to complete 8 epitaph users. All we then had to do was allow the Chosen Ones to control these epitaph users, then have them activate the RA program that Amagi had created in order to restore Aura to existence. To put it simply, this involved unleashing the immense power of Morgana's 8 phases into the network. However, during preparation for the final stage, I realized that there was something incredibly dangerous that could occur in rebooting the Morgana factor. The use of a power that shouldn't exist, strong enough to revive Aura, the ultimate AI. Doing so could produce giant distortions all over the internet. These distortions were basically anti-existences. They had also occurred during the Morgana incident. Kite's bracelet, given to him by Aura, unleashed a force, and it was this force that created the nightmarish Kubia.
It's not running away.
Fine, then let's settle this.
For just once. I'll stick with you till the end.
If the distortion field produced from a single bracelet resulted in Kubia, there was no telling what the distortion caused from 8 powerful epitaph users might do. The salvage of the 8 pieces of the Morgana factor would literally become a gathering of the unwilling. distortions would appear randomly like unwanted tumors. I reported these findings to Amagi and urged him to put the RA plan on hold until my concerns could be resolved. But Amagi refused, saying that the distortion produced earlier was due to hidden bugs in the Herald system. He said the RA program he designed would never allow anything like that to occur. He laughed at my concerns. With our rivalry and the envy of the genius Harold Hewitt consuming him, Amagi began to press ahead with the RA plan at all costs in order to prove his own abilities. I was concerned about the RA plan, so I opposed Amagi's attempts to experiment with his program. Fearing the situation would worsen to a point of real danger, I secretly removed one Epitaph user from the world and hid it in my home computer. This was the Epitaph user integrated with the Morgana factor of Tarvos the Avenger. Without all 8 characters, there was no way the RA program could be activated. But Amagi didn't even bat an eye at the unexpected absence of a key Epitaph user. It turned out that Amagi had secretly constructed a dummy Morgana factor and had prepared his own original Epitaph user as a backup. It didn't take him long to deduce that the missing Epitaph user was my doing. Amagi went ahead with his plan. He proceeded to gather 7 of the potential chosen ones together. Systematically, he matched them up to each Epitaph user. Meanwhile, he used his own dummy Epitaph user to connect to the network and began testing the RA program. This was the high point of Amagi's life. If he succeeded at reviving the ultimate AI, his genius would be considered on par with the great Harold Hewitt. If he could somehow manage to control the ultimate AI, then in the eyes of many, he would even surpass Harold's genius. He was playing with genetics of the unknown, and unfortunately, I knew it was only to further himself. He wished to combine his own mind and fuse it with the ultimate AI. He wanted to become a god inside the network, using the 8 pillars to support him. As a result, Amagi's experiment was anything but perfect. In an instant, the RA program crashed. Suddenly, over 80% of the world's game data was completely wiped out. The minds of all 7 potential chosen ones were caught up in the Morgana factor's rampage, and they fell into comas. Sadly, Amagi suffered severe mental damage as well. Amagi's experimentation of the RA program ended in failure. I arrived shortly after the RA program went berserk and set about containing the situation. However, I was only able to recover a single Epitaph user from the devastation. The one I recovered was the Epitaph user integrated with the Morgana factor of propagation, Magus. His experiment having failed, a deranged Amagi caused a fire to break out. The fire spread fast, consuming a third of the CC Corp building, causing tremendous damage. The media was given news of only the fire itself, announcing to the public that several people were injured. Genocide of the unfaithful. What was the reason for this miserable failure? Most likely, it was because Amagi did not approach the world with enough respect. It may also be that the one most cursed by the ghost of Harold Hewick was none other than Amagi himself. Whatever the reason, the RA program's failure and the huge fire that accompanied it caused over 80% of the world's data to be lost. And at the same time, Project GU's research data was also irreparably damaged. GU was suspended, and I took responsibility for the project's failure by resigning from CC Corporation. As a result of Jotaro Amagi's Project GU failure and the huge fire that accompanied it, over 80% of the world's data was gone. GU was dissolved, and I assumed responsibility for its failure by resigning from CC Corp. In the end, I suppose I couldn't win against either Amagi or Harold Hewick. But I didn't lose to them either. The faith of engineer Jun Banshoya had not yet been broken. It was soon decided that the world would be shut down temporarily. One can only theorize at the purpose of CC Corp's executives, but after having lost over half their data, it was assumed that it was a simple managerial decision. They reasoned that instead of working towards repairing the old game's data, it would be a better idea to apply their resources to a new generation game. A new game project the company had dubbed R2. This was also a way to escape from the ever-looming ghost of the genius, Harold Hewick. Of course, analysis of the Herald system had been halted, and the re-examining black box data had also been implemented into R2. Soon the day arrived. The town and area data that they had managed to save were presented to the public. The first generation of the world faced its final day. I logged in with my own private character to see. Makanu was serenely quiet. The cityscape that made one think of Venice was beautiful, and the waterways reflected the evening sun. Many had gathered underneath the bridge. It reminded me of a happier time when the voices of hundreds of players echoed on the streets. Like a midsummer night's dream. The next day, this world would be gone. With lingering memories and grieving voices, those who were angry at CC Corporation completely disregarded the presence of system administrators on that final day. The characters that they had grown so attached to would not be carried over to the next version, effectively ending their lives all at once. Even so, they gathered together in the town. Everyone said goodbye to their friends. Some vowed to meet again. Others decided to move on. Keeping to myself in a desolate alley, I couldn't help but wonder. I wondered where Aura had gone. She was like Amaterasu hiding in her cave. After losing her, those 4 golden years of the world had all of a sudden come crashing down upon us. We humans had lost our God. We couldn't stop from wailing and weeping. Project GU had been designed to give us a new God, but it had collapsed in flames. I don't know exactly when it happened. A young girl, bathed in the sunset, whispered the following to me. The barefooted girl with saffron-color hair whispered to me, her last whisper disappeared as if the wind had blown it away, and then the girl was gone. It felt like I stood there forever. I tried to make sense of her words, and then I realized that girl, with her obviously hacked character, might well have been a wandering AI. Somehow she gave me the impression of aura that I had once known. The world will end. It will end. And yet its core will be preserved in the next generation. Generation of unity. It is what people have always wished for. Was I the only one to think that this comforting chaos, although ironic, somehow fit perfectly with the world? But now it is all too late. The World, R2, was released to the public on December 24th, 2015. That day, which became known as Death of a Goddess, must have been bittersweet, even for the players who knew nothing about the disappearance of Aura. Releasing the new game barely a year after the unforeseeable data loss, CC Corp surprised even me with their speed. And even though all the graphic data and the battle engine were already up and running upon release, the message text, as well as the core system, must have been hastily thrown together by programmers. They couldn't have had time to properly debug. As a result, R2 was plagued by constant bug issues since day one, and the game had to be repaired and refined through regular maintenance. The majority of the Epitaph users had been lost. The only Epitaph user left to CC Corp was the propagation. It should have been carefully stored by the security administrators, who took over the now defunct Project GU. However, the Avenger, the Epitaph user I removed to prevent Amagi's experiment, was still being kept in my computer. Eventually, CC Corp will become aware of the existence of Tarvos, which contains a piece of the Morgana factor, and that I have it. I'll have to come up with some countermeasures. When the RA program failed, the other 6 pieces of the Morgana factor, having been separated from their Epitaph users, were once again lost in the network's ocean of data. Project GU was gone. Amagi was beyond any hope of recovery, and with me now gone from CC Corp, things will be safe, at least as long as the Chosen will access the world. If they do, they may unwittingly draw epitaphs to themselves. Then, much like what happened with Sora and Skaith, could happen again. In the end, my goal of preventing the birth of Kubia, the anti-existence, can be said to have been accomplished. Having known Harold Hewick, Jotaro Amagi, and the world more intimately than any other, I had one final duty. I had to keep the Epitaph user, Tarvos, safely hidden away. I had to prevent those outside CC Corp from learning about the power of the Morgana factor. However, things had taken a turn for the worse. Ovan. He is the Epitaph user of the Rebirth. Ovan has already started to act. He's assembled a guild. His members include Sagisaka, Biset, Godo, and finally Shino. The name of the guild is Twilight Brigade. Does he know about Harold Hewick and the Epitaph of Twilight? Where did he learn about it? Does he also know about Morgana and the ultimate AI, Aura? I have confirmed that Ovan's left arm contains indecipherable data. What on earth is it? He has an almost incalculable amount of data capacity within him. Please stop, Ovan. I'm begging you. Everything is Ovan's doing. I repeat, everything is in Ovan's hands. That man will become the guide to an uprising. My little sister, I'm so sorry that my final gift to you ends like this. Right now, it is far too dangerous for me to see you in person. However, I can think of no one wiser than you to whom I can give this journal. I want you to use the character left on my computer. You must use it to access the world. I'm certain it will help to open up a new door for your life. The rest, I can only leave up to you. My wish is that you will walk this path of fate for the sake of your beliefs and for justice. You are a chosen one. We are siblings, with many years between us. I am sure you don't remember me, as you and I parted ways when you were still just a small child. But I remember you, the little girl you used to be, and I know what you've done with your life in the time since. My only regret is that I was unable to see you again. Please forgive me for being unable to watch over you. Reiko, even though our parents went their separate ways long ago, you and I are brother and sister, and that will never change, ever. You will always be my darling sister.
Kaoru? You go to that temp agency today, you hear me?
Yeah.
Don't yeah me! You promised last time and you never went!
I know. Look, I had a stomachache, okay?
Doubtful.
Oh, shut up, you old bag.
What? How dare you speak to your mother that way? I bought you that computer so that you could use it for studying! Not gross websites!
They're not gross. I know.
You are getting a job, and you are getting it today! Oh, that boy.
A job? I guess it is Mom's birthday soon.
That light! Only an artist of peerless talent could emit such radiance! Glittering stars! A legendary rock band with 3 Azure Knights! My God! How do ordinary civilians withstand such divine tremors coursing through their bodies? Ah! 3AK! Behind you! Behind you! Oh, there it is! The guitarist and bassist's illusion skill! Kun and Endrance are as stunned as I am. This isn't even a band contest anymore. Might as well be a genuine 3AK concert. The illusions are fading away. Ah! Behind them! That voice! That light! There he is! The legendary death metal vocalist Azure Kite! It's Satsuko style! The Dead Star Rising! Even rock can't provide this level of entertainment! Those guys are totally going to steal the entire show! No way! Over the rainbow! Power of those who have reached the rainbow's end.
Aina.
Ovan.
Please belittle me again. Insult me so hard, Aina.
Get the hell away from me! Gross! Your light
life is worthless. You piece of crap. Garbage.
Please, for old time's sake, give me your worst, my sweet Aina. Yes, those eyes of hate!
You putrid swine!
Heaven!
Thank heavens! Crunch time is over. I just can't wait to get home and... Huh? A broken image? That's a bug! Guys? Guys? Oh no! They've all gone home! What should I do? Should I call the boss? Stay and fix it, is what he'll say. Welp. I saw nothing.
Oh, she's a ball. Same with the chick next to her. Whoa, dead ball. Now her. Ball. I sense a girl.
What about me?
Steve Reich?
I want a girlfriend. I want a girlfriend so bad. Even Haseo has one, and he's a nerd. I'm desperate, but guys just aren't my thing. And pie.
Master Yada!
And pie. Ah! She's too damn old!
What? What? Old hag?
That concludes today's races. Thank you all very much for coming, and we hope to see you again soon.
How'd it go?
It was awful. I never expected such a weak finish. Maybe I'm not cut out for gambling.
I wouldn't say that.
But you're a natural. Your picks always win.
Well, that's because I buy tips. Not the fake stuff you see online or in magazines, but info that comes through a few underground channels I know. So, are you interested in buying?
Seriously? This is legit? Oh, but I bet it costs a lot.
It's a guaranteed win, dude. Worrying about the money seems kinda silly to me. See, that's why you keep losing. Your attitude. You give up before it's even started.
Wait, I give up before the battle even starts? That does it. I'm in. You gotta spend money to make money.
Yep. You've really grown up, Haseo.
I get it now. You only win if you're a winner. Yes, I see the truth. I'm right here. And so is my new luck.
There's a sucker born every minute. As if there's any secret way to win. Like shooting fish in a barrel. Hey, Haseo. I was just wondering. If games keep advancing the way they are, do you think we'll use our actual bodies in them someday? Like, maybe there'd be hackers corrupting the game world, and we'd save it and be heroes.
You're such a teen, lol.
Maybe. And you'd show up too, Haseo.
Rough LeMayo.
Our friends are all turned to stone, and we save them and team up with the hackers and the surviving Ida. And at the end, we all fight against Aura.
Omufaga?
Well, fine then. Let's bet on it.
Bet? Some duh.
Whichever of us is wrong has to do something embarrassing.
Get ready for poffonage! Fine. If I lose, I'll take my shirt off and pose for the logo of a mobile game. Loo la 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 loo 111.
Just as I hoped.
Ovan.
Haseo. I suck. I suck so much I even suck at sucking. I'm the worst.
Ovan! Don't say that. Everyone's got their sucky points. When I was little, I joined online games because I was lonely. I ended all my sentences with boing. I attacked people from behind and begged for their member addresses. So please!
You're creepy, man.
Huh? Ovan.
I knew it. There's no bathroom. We gotta get out of here, Haseo. I can't hold it much longer.
Don't panic, Adelie. Most people can hold it longer than they think. Let's just calm down and try to escape.
You're right.
It's not like I'm a little kid. Grown-ups just don't have accidents, do they?
I had an accident, and it's brown.
I knew it! There's no bathroom! We gotta get out of here, Haseo! I can't hold it much longer!
Don't panic, Adelie. Most people can hold it longer than they think. Let's just calm down and try to escape.
You're right.
It's not like I'm a little kid. Grown-ups just don't have accidents, do they?
I had an accident, and it's brown.
Ovan!